Hey everybody, Miasma here with another anime review, and this one, this was a toughie, a hard one for sure. I'll get right into it. We're going to talk about Anohana, the flower we saw that day. Uh, Whew, really short 11 episode show done by A1 Pictures. Um, Known for being emotional, and it really was. I guess I'll answer the question initially. Did it make me cry? We'll get to that. Just kidding. So basically, if you know nothing about Anohana, um, it is essentially about this group of this group of six friends, and when they were really young, their one of the friends named Menma, this girl with the white hair here in the corner, uh, she died in this tragic accident on a day that they were all hanging out on. And she was sort of. Turns out that she was kind of the glue that sort of kept everybody together. Because after that event, for various reasons, the friends all pretty much started to split up. There's one group that still stays as like a pair, like a couple almost, but everybody else kind of goes about on a different life path from then on out. And Menma's death really changed a lot of their lives in various ways. Some people sunk into sort of like this like loner type depression, like our main character Jinta there, our guy in the red shirt. He was like the leader of the group when they were growing up. He's the main character of the show, and early on, he doesn't seem like he would be an MC, and I kind of like how that's how the story sort of presented itself. But when they were kids, he was willing to be the leader, like always eager to jump into things and stuff. After Menma's death, he really changed and sort of became this kind of hikikomori type dude who just sits around and plays video games and doesn't go to literally just skips school, and doesn't has no problem really with not talking to anybody and stuff like that. Very antisocial, and he's just that's just one example of how all of these friends who were so tight and close together at the beginning sort of broke off with the death of one of their friends. And lo and behold, Jinta, the main character, one day starts to see Menma again. Menma, who had died, I think it's 5 years prior, reappears to him and tells him that he needs to help her grant a wish. She doesn't know what the wish is, but she's Ghost Menma is here, and she has aged like the rest of them, but still is this like small, cute girl that you see right here. And there is some comedy in the show. The show is not all super dramatic. There's some lighthearted moments. It's pretty well balanced in that regard. And so the remainder of the show is about Jinta and Ghost Menma. Jinta is the only one that could see her, by the way, and hear her. Trying to sort of assemble the gang back together, finding out why they separated, finding out more about the people that they have become, and just trying to patch stuff together. You find out that some people had feelings for one another and so forth that might not have been expressed. You have a whole lot of regret going on. You have people that were perfectly willing to stay friends, but for certain circumstances that just didn't happen. And you get sort of all of their thoughts on who was to blame for this breakup, because there's a lot of like finger pointing going on here. And that part of it is also sad. Like not just the Menma stuff is sad, believe me, because she's a funny, cute character that you don't want to see die. But it is sad that they were such a tight group of friends and you know, they just broke off and went in separate ways. And it's weird to think about that. And I think that's something that could actually happen in real life. So that brings me to my first like good point about the show overall is like most of the characters feel pretty human to an extent. Like yes, they're anime characters, but you feel for them. Like I like Jinta a lot. I could see somebody going down that path of like they become depressed and then they just become more and more antisocial, and are in denial of it. I like Menma. Ghost Menma's hilarious and adorable. I really really liked Anaru, who's the girl with the two like the pigtails. She was actually secretly like in love with Jinta growing up. She had a crush on him, and when everything kind of went down, they all separated. She's always been the type of person that sort of tries to emulate, like camouflage herself with those around her. And so instead of being friends with like this sort of like ragtag group of people with all like different personalities, she's sort of just like acclimated towards like the popular girls of like the sort of like delinquent school in town. It seems like. And she's, which she isn't. It's kind of a lie. Like she's actually like pretty nerdy and like she collects like video games and stuff, but she doesn't let anybody know that. I like that. I like how she was like she kind of like wore this mask out in public, yet she kind of hid, who she was really inside. And I liked her, sort of monologues that she has about her feelings for Jinta and the whole situation that happened and stuff like that. She was really cool. Then you got, I think my favorite, Popo, the guy in the purple shirt. He's the biggest guy. Ironically, when they were kids, he was the tiniest. And he's just kind of a big goofball, like kind of like a party animal who lives in the woods for some reason. He just like he quit school and started traveling the world. That's kind of his thing. But he's a really likable guy. Then you got the two I don't really like. You got Yukiatsu and Sirocco, who are the two others in like the preppy clothes. They go to like this fancy school. They're really smart. They're the ones that stayed friends amongst the group. Sirocco actually likes Yukiatsu, although Yukiatsu kind of doesn't really notice that. Yukiatsu, the dude's just kind of a tool. He's definitely my least likable here. He does some fucked up shit in this anime. He does recover later on. He does some good things. He's sort of salvageable, but I kind of hated him for most of this. But I guess the show's got to give you somebody to hate when they're throwing a lot of like funny and cute and sorrowful moments at you. The animation was really good, done by A1 Pictures. Voice, I watched this in the dub. It has a good dub. The OP is actually really cool. I liked it a lot. I really liked the animation for the OP as well. And it's cathartic. It's emotional. But at the same time, like it was an interesting thing for me personally because I didn't have that tight group of friends growing up, like this. Like I had a very very small group of friends, and I've always been not the most social of people. So even I never really had even like a group of 6 like this. So like it's interesting to see like the dynamic of 6 seemingly kind of different people bonding over similar things and then breaking off and then rebonding over similar things again. But yeah, so I thought that aspect was really cool. But as to what I didn't really like I said, there's some awful characters. I really didn't like Yukiatsu or Sirocco. They're just both kind of like uptight and annoying. I don't like that kind of person. It feels really rushed. It's only 12 episodes. I think this would have been great if it was like 22, 24. We could have spent more time with my man Popo up there. Popo doesn't get a ton of development until like way too late in the show. Like the last episode, you find some stuff out about him, or like the second to last episode. I wish that he had gotten more serious moments earlier on. Yeah, he just didn't have enough screen time. I think all of this would have benefited from being just a hair longer. The last thing that I really liked about this that I want to mention in the middle of the negatives is it has a very solid ending. Now, I have not seen the movie, so I've only heard negative things about the movie. But as far as episode 11, the end of episode 11 is pretty solid, and I liked it a lot. Did I cry? No. They're very, very close. I would say this is the second closest I've ever come to crying in an anime. The first being Your Lie in April. And I think if I had seen this maybe when I was a little younger, I don't know. I'm trying to say like with age came the strength of manhood or something. Maybe I would have cried. I think maybe if I had grown up more like these people, I might have actually cried. But it is still very, very sad. I almost did. I could totally see why people would. So it's a good show with solid characters, solid animation. Again, some of the characters not as good as the others. But it's an interesting story. I like the dynamic of like the ghost and only one of them can see her. and stuff like that, and the stuff that they kind of play around with that concept a lot in here. But yeah, it was a little bit rushed. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you have seen Anohana, let me know what you thought of it down below. If you really like what I'm doing here, please check out the Patreon down in the description. Thanks to all of my supporters. You guys are awesome. You guys are like the reason I do what I do. And I really can't thank you enough. You guys are so cool. So thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Miasma, and I'm signing out.